of Chadbourne awesomeness. Chadbourne was a scary mystery to me when I started kindergarten. I remember how on my first day of kindergarten, I already couldn't trust my teacher, my classmates, and I sure didn't trust the Chadbourne toilet. But it was during that first day with Miss Gustas when I really did have to use that toilet. I swear, my mom must have given me butterflies for breakfast because my stomach sure did not cooperate with me on that day. I remember rushing to the restroom, doing my business, and then came the moment of truth. What on earth was I going to do with that flush handle? You know, it took me a long time to trust that mine at home wouldn't suck me down with the water when I pressed the flush handle. So I quickly glanced at the flush handle and thought, I trust my toilet at home now, but you know, this one sure does look different. I don't think I'm going to take any chances. And after deciding what to do, I quietly slipped out of the restroom and stammered, Miss Gustas, could you help me flush the toilet? She had then pleasantly smiled and whispered, don't worry, Brendan, I'll take care of it. Just then, I stopped, listened, and thought, wow, she's just like my mom. And for the next 6 years, I often took some time to stop, listen, and truly marvel about this wonderful place. Recently, I had the chance to take a tour of Pixar Animations, where they showed me how they made movies out of storyboards. And it was while I was passing one of those storyboards when it occurred to me that our times here at Chadbourne were like storyboards of a long film. And when those storyboards were sped up, our 6 years at Chadbourne sped by in a blink. But it's not only until the storyboards are slowed down to frame speed when I would have the chance to stop, listen, and truly appreciate the beauty of each frame. Our times at Chadbourne consisted of many of those beautifully sketched frames. And when put together, we had a short summer blockbuster. We were the superheroes, the main actors of that blockbuster. But we couldn't have done it without a lot of help and dedication from our supporting casts. When I stop and listen, I can hear my mom staying up all night tending to my fever. Every few minutes, she would check on my temperature to make sure that I was all right. When I stop and listen, I can hear my grandparents as they're making sure that I'm not hungry while I'm doing my homework every day. When I stop and listen, I can hear Ms. Bazo as she explains the differences between Taoism and Hinduism. I can also hear Mr. Kurtz, who took his time to explain the differences between independent and dependent events in my math class. You know, I've asked a lot of questions to Mr. Kurtz throughout the year, every single day. And I'm sorry to say, but I have one more question for you, Mr. Kurtz. What's 2 plus 2? I can also hear Miss Farmer as she thoroughly explains the inside of the earth in my science class. And to all of the wonderful teachers, we do stop, listen, and we can hear you. When I stop and listen, I'm at the Chadbourne boys basketball finals. There are less than 5 minutes left on the clock. The score is tied at 42, and the whole gym goes dead silent. I can almost hear Jacob's heart thumping as he swishes in one of the last important buckets of the game. Following was an explosion of applause. Thank you, Jacob, the boys and girls basketball teams, and of course, the coaches of the boys and girls basketball teams for an incredible season. All of the adults, too, need to stop and listen to us as we have our own dreams and worries. They, too, need to stop and listen to the beats of Mother Earth. Remember, if only she had a forceful hand, she would squeeze ours and tell us to stop and listen. She would tell us to stop and listen to the ocean water that is getting cloudy and to the air that is congested. Even the birds and the bees that we whispered about at our recent science camp are all calling out to us for our attention. They really need for all of us to stop and listen. And from all of us, the awesome class of Chadbourne 2012, we would like to leave Chadbourne, our home away from home, as the seeds of the future. Oh yeah, and by the way, as for that school across the field, what was it called again? Oh yeah, Hopkins. Let me tell you this. Chadbourne awesomeness is going to take over your school in the fall. Go find yourself. 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 Wasn't that an awesome speech?